Greetings, my fellow Narcadians. It is I, Talsar Gelden, Master of the Narcadian Order, here for more Talsar plays Pathfinder Kingmaker. Now, I tried recording a session earlier today, and unfortunately, I thought I was recording, and I in fact was not. So there's gonna be some skipped content here. I went to the bandit camp at the fjord, found the clue that takes me to the temple. I ran into this old guy who's looking for the temple. I tried going back to the post, telling him, oh, hey, I know where the temple is now. Apparently, I have to actually go get to the temple first before I can tell him. And now I'm taking care of the... I just took care of the of this gigantic warthog called like Tusk Render or something like that, which I had Amari fight one-on-one. So not really missing a lot. Yeah, I went to the ancient tomb because I heard the little halfling bastard went there. So I went through there, didn't really find much. Found a trail afterwards, followed around, then I lost it. Went to this place as well, just a little few encounters there, nothing major. So not really a lot. I also went to the abandoned hut. So not a whole lot has been no, that just clutters everything up. So, not a whole lot has been done since the last time I played, so I need to go, here now. So, that's where I'm going to start heading. Tranquil River Bend. I'm gonna camp here. Let's see here. Rations needed. I have rations. So let's go ahead and let's rest before I head over there.
And an elf, exiles who've rejected the gods of their people, fighting side by side. How strange. You're like a reflection in a distorting mirror.
Too bad your goddess doesn't teach you humility. I'm not anyone's reflection. I am me. And you might have realized over your long life that the world doesn't exist for you.
Main cook prepared, excellent. Hearty meal, good. Alright. We're all rested. Let's go ahead and let's take care of this. Yeah, so this is one of the few games where you actually need to take resting into account, since it mirrors the actual tabletop RPG. We found the right trail. The ritual was held here. But be careful. There are dangerous beasts ahead. Alright. They are both guards of this place and tokens of the druid's evil magic. Please be careful. I did double check. I am recording now, so... A gigantic frog. A couple of them, actually. And... Okay, I don't...
This should do it.
I want to have you chain... Oh, no, it is Amari.
Tear them apart!
Excellent shot, Amari. I have to be wary about these. These guys probably have ability to swallow. Oh, you missed. I gave her a heavy crossbow.
Repent. Your life ebbs low.
A calculated risk.
Okay.
They go down!
Okay. Not too bad. Nothing to loot, unfortunately. What is this? The muddy water gives off a strange, nauseating smell and emits a tattered fog. The ancient statue of Aristel seems to be resist the ravages of time. The effects of years' rain and wind have destroyed the temple's walls, but they could not subdue the statue.
All according to plan.
Okay, we got some gigantic wolves over here.
Wretched things.
Bring it!
Ah, you missed. I'll have you move over here, Harum. And I'll just have you wait.
This will hurt.
Nice shot.
Despicable.
What's wrong with Amari? Sicken. The character takes a -2 penalty on all attack rolls. Open damage rolls, saving throws, skill checks, and blade checks. Ah, wonderful.
Advance!
Tear them apart!
Concealment! Ah, great. I do a knowledge check on these.
Waste. Become as dust.
This concealment.
Let's try this way. This should do it.
I hit that one.
Unworthy.
I hit that time. What? Wait a minute. What? Why is Amari on the ground?
They go down! Hey!
Oh, okay. She must have gotten knocked prone during the attack. That's what happened.
Repent.
Damn. Yeah, I forgot. Wolves have the ability to trip when they
A calculated risk.
on a successful attack.
Bring it!
Nice shot.
Your life ebbs low.
This will hurt.
Wretched things.
Tear them apart!
Alright. Okay, this is an exit over here. Don't need to go that way.
You cannot stand against me.
Primal Dire Boar. One damage, okay. I don't like you being in the front. Huh. Okay.
Let's try this way. They go down!
What a waste!
Damn it.
Despicable.
Damn.
This should do it. Ah!
Become as dust.
Advance.
A calculated risk.
Ah, come on.
Bring it! Tear them apart!
Nice shot.
Repent.
And this Dire Boar's got a lot of hit
Unworthy.
points. There we go.
In due time.
What do we have here? Token of the Dryad, okay.
That is not far.
Scared? You
What
should
the
be.
fuck is that thing? Damage reduction. Some creatures suffer less damage from weapons. Yeah. Tristan and Bear-like Treant. Got Stunning Blow. It's currently flat-footed. Chaotic Neutral, Magical Beast. Okay. Oh, this gives me all of this information. Okay. Wow, that's strength score. It doesn't tell me how many hit points it has, though. Okay. Uninspected. Alright. Turn that on. Now. I have a rage next round. Alright.
This will hurt.
Wretched things.
You have your rage, charge. Yeah, the music has much to be desired. So this bear is attacking that other person, okay. And it looks like it just killed him.
Let's try this way.
No. Hurt him a heck of a lot, though.
Despicable.
They go down!
There we go.
I swear, never have I been so glad to meet a stranger. Even with the power granted me by Sarenrae, I almost lost. You have my thanks. Please, allow me to introduce myself. My name is Tristian.
A Sarenrae fanatic. Talk about people I'd be just as happy not seeing for the next 1,000 years.
How did you get here?
I was investigating this fog. I believe you have already discerned that it is magical in nature. I serve Sarenrae, goddess of sunlight. Discovering an evil magic that isolated living creatures from the sun alarmed me in no small way. I was able to locate the place the fog originated from, but was too presumptuous and almost got into the beast's teeth.
A local nymph directed me here. She thinks the enhanced fog in this temple was created by the druid, who serves the bandit leader here. I expect defeating the beast gods should cause the fog to clear.
I have never spoken to nymphs, but I believe their assessment is accurate. The creatures occupying this temple are far from ordinary animals. The power that moved them here is related to the fog. The beasts hold the fog as anchors hold a ship dancing in the waves. From what I can tell, once the beasts are defeated, the fog should begin to clear.
The beasts are defeated. What now?
Praised be Sarenrae. Now, if my knowledge serves, the fog should weaken and eventually clear entirely. We need only wait. Perhaps somewhere more hospitable?
You're wounded. Do you require
You are
assistance?
very kind. Kindness to strangers is in short supply these days. But worry not. Sarenrae's priests are skilled in the healing arts. I can heal myself.
With those beasts dead, I have other matters to attend to.
Please wait. You saved my life. I have no treasures or relics, but I have knowledge and the divine power of a priest. I wish to aid you in your journeys.
Yeah.
Thank you. I hope I will be of help.
Okay. Oh wait, no. Shit, there was something over here that we... yeah. Select everything.
As it should be.
Alright. Well. Oh yeah, it looks a lot better now. The water is crystal clear and seems to radiate a gentle, soothing shine. Okay, well now I can go back to Oleg's and now tell that priest I ran into earlier about this place so he can come here himself. Dr. Jod, yeah. Oh yeah, and Tuskgutter. Travel, take one... Nah.
I tire.
Yeah. Alright, let's stop here. So, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and enter here and camp here. And then we'll continue on our
I'm
way.
hungry. When we stop.
Right now, as a matter of fact. Yeah, you can see this. I set up camp here previously, so... Alright, well... Need to do some hunting. Apparently you're no good at that. Alright.
I sank to such lows after my exile. I was a pathetic sot, drowning my feelings of uselessness in cheap drinks. How ironic is it that the teachings of Grotus would bring sense to my life.
Hunting... Yeah, okay. Good. And the main cook spoiled a hearty meal. Well, great. Continue. Alright. Tristan approaches you and makes a gesture to attract your attention. Talsar Geldon, before we set off, I need to give you something. You've come to my rescue, and I was prepared to meet the goddess. Accept my gratitude, and this. Tristan takes a few potions from the bag and hands them to you. There are only a few, but they will be useful to you in your journey in the Stolen Lands. 3 potions of lesser restoration. Cool. Tristan folds his hands and smiles at you. I'm glad that I met you. If you need advice or help, I'll be around. Alright. Now, on my previous playthrough, I hadn't gotten this far, but I got stuck because I ran into members from the Technic League, and they kicked my ass. Why they were interested in my party, I don't know. I need to look up on the map to see where, geographically speaking, the Stolen Lands are in relation to... I mean, we've already had references to Usalav, so... And I know Usalav is pretty close to Numeria.
How may I serve you? Erastil be praised, you finally returned, my good friend. Tristan told me how you helped him at the Temple of the Elk. Thank you for heeding my request. My heart is calm and filled with confidence that I've followed the will of my God. I would like to reward your bravery. I possess no treasure, but please, take this as a token of appreciation.
All right.
As far as I know, your next target looks to be the Stag Lord himself. With the Temple of the Elk cleansed of evil, the fog surrounding us should disperse to reveal the path to the brute's lair. Of course, magic so powerful is unlikely to disappear all at once. Bide your time. Follow up on other concerns while you wait. I will gladly aid you on your noble quest. Erastil himself foresaw our meeting.
Do you understand the true meaning of your visions now?
I trust in their truth. These visions, they were the voice of Erastil himself. Quiet but clear. Before all this happened, I believed Erastil had turned his back to me. But now, I see clearly. He has shown me divine mercy, for he has led me to you and invited me to aid in a fellow priest's deliverance. Lady Sarenrae and Erastil walk the paths of the gods hand in hand, and so must their servants as well. Tristan is undoubtedly still very young, and youth is a time of naivete and confusion. But I see kindness and strength of spirit in him, traits indispensable to a priest. I sense that all that's transpired thus far is only the beginning, and the future promises great things for Tristan and for you. This is why Erastil led me to the Temple of the Elk. Day and night I pray for you and for my young friend. May the stag god lead you down the true path.
That's enough.
As you wish.
Actually, now I need to go talk to Oleg about Tuskgutter. Tuscarora is dead. You should mount his head on the wall. Oleg looks at the blood-stained boar's head with respect, touching its tusk with his finger to test how sharp it is. That's one heck of a beast. I love to have a trophy like that. But a deal's a deal. The head goes to old Benzin. And his bounty goes to you. Alright, masterwork longbow. Let's see here. Sell off some of my loot. A well-grounded Hughes clear might play enhancement. I'll go and sell that. What's this? Ancient Cyclops coin? Yeah. Right. Oh, that's magical. Let's see. I have this Tristan. Tristan doesn't really have much of anything when it comes to gear. There's that masterwork longsword. What's this? Garnet? Garnet ring, yeah, I can sell that. Anything else here? Alright. Alright, Tristan. You have a scimitar. What can you wear? What class are you? Human character. Okay, you're a cleric. Please. Okay, you're a cleric. You can't wear armor? Abilities. Electric channel, meta magic. Let's see here. This is light armor. You can't be equipped by this character. Why the hell not? Issuing for the persons via the strength of his faith, the ecclesiarch focuses on the miracles his deity bestows and the breath of his deity's dominion. Okay, well, answers that question. Can't use a longsword either. Okay. Your AC is only 11. Okay. Spellbook. Okay. It's kind of interesting that I can't really give him anything right now. It kind of reminds me of an assassin from Assassin's Creed, you know? Personal stash. Okay, so I can just keep things here, huh? Okay. I'm just gonna talk to my other companions, see if they got any more of their story to tell me. Most dwarves are self-satisfied, stubborn fools serving Torek. They don't deserve my good attitude. But you can ask me what you want to know. Tell me about the 5 Kings Mountains. The Dwarven Kingdoms, yes. Well, it's to the south of here. It survived many trials, and there will be more to come, Helm strokes his beard, contemplating. There's no unity among the dwarves, Talsar yelled. The 5 kings rule over our people. They sit on their thrones of the 5 greatest cities, and with every passing day it grows harder for them to come to any agreement. The only thing uniting the 5 Kings Mountains is the sky citadel of High Helm, the great dwarven fortress at the mountain's heart. The dwarves always lived on the surface. Oh no, eons ago, all dwarves lived deep beneath the surface, and they did rather well, judging by the historical records. They built fortresses befitting noble dwarves, but our restless god Toreg sent us prophecy, the quest for the sky. He ordered all dwarves to abandon their fortresses and press upwards, to show their hearts to the sun, as they say. This journey was long and bloody. Many dwarves perished on the way, others turned back, keeping to the ancient strongholds. Eventually they turned into evil Duergar, grey dwarves. But those who survived reached the surface and founded the Sky Citadels, the most glorious cities in dwarven history. Tell me about the Sky Citadels. Oh, they are the peaks of creation. Glorious cities built by the ancient dwarves who finally reached the surface after many hardships, performing the final labor in their quest for the sky. On the surface of Glorion, Horum's eyes glitter with admiration. They are steadfast, tall, magnificent. They are beautiful. The 10 citadels were built by dwarves, but we've managed to keep only a few. The citadels crumbled, and the orcs, sworn enemies of our people, trampled their blessed streets and ruined the glorious palaces of the ancient kings. Horum's eyes grow misty with tears. These were heavy losses, and a disgrace to our people. High Helm is the jewel of the citadels that remain. It is located at the heart of the mountains, in the heart of every dwarf. Yes, yes, my heart too. There is a dwarven saying that if an enemy reaches High Helm, every dwarf from all corners of the world will come to defend it. Harum casts a side glance at you. I'll be there too, but not to help the Citadel's defenders. I'll be there to witness the fall of our people with my own eyes, and mourn it. I would fall upon the cold stone and raise my final prayer to Grotus. My life is divided into 2 parts. The first was filled with blind wandering, doubts, and attempts to serve Toreg. The second part began when I accepted Grotus into my soul and received a clear vision of the world. What exactly would you like to know? Where are you from? My life story began in Lared, a city of dwarven clerics and acolytes. They served Toreg and the other dwarven gods. Torg's brothers, Angard and Magrum. Torg's wife, Fulgrit, his daughter, Bulka, his sons, Grundenar, Coles, and Trude, and also Torg's sister, Drangvit. Your guess is just as good as mine on how the hell that's pronounced. Dragsvit. Dorn curves his lip in contempt. I wouldn't be surprised if they built a temple to Torg's pet dog. Sorry, I let myself get carried away. Harum sighs and pulls his beard several times. Lerad is the second largest dwarven city in the Five Kings Mountains. It's built upon numerous temple carvings. Caverns, which serve as a place of worship for all the dwarven gods. Many pilgrims from every corner of Glorion come to Lerad to pray to their gods. Some remain to live there. The city is simply imbued with faith. You can't swing a dead cat without hitting a cleric. With no surprise, inspired by the aura of the city, that I decided as a young boy to dedicate all my efforts to becoming a cleric of Toreg. You once tried to serve Toreg. Not just tried. It was a burning passion. I craved it by day and dreamt of it at night. Haram shakes his head, as if amazed by his own stupidity. You see, Talsar, from my first days, I felt the presence of the god at my back. I heard his whispers, felt his power. Through the nature of this power was unclear to me. I thought Torg himself was trying to speak to me, and I did all I could to understand his words. Oh, I was a naive fool I was. Oh, what a naive fool I was. I had no idea that Torg, that uncompromising, conceited god, glamorized by all dwarves, was capable of betrayal. He turned away from me, Talsar. He left me in the hour when I put all my hopes in him and desperately needed his support. Torg, the god of craftsmen, so every follower, especially the clerics, must smith their own suit of armor. The day this work was finished is like the second birthday for a dwarf, is newly born into the eyes of Torg. Haram sighs heavily and falls silent for a time. My second birthday never came. I couldn't make armor, not even a sword, not even a simple nail. My hammer smashed my fingers and fell on my feet. Molten iron burned my hands. The clerics laughed as they healed me. They used to say I was cursed by Toreg, so finally I gave up any attempt to please the betrayer god. Even if Toreg really has rejected you, is that enough reason to leave your homeland? You don't know much about dwarves. Haram lets out a sad sigh. You can be a dwarf cursed by Toreg, go on living in a city that every single soul bows to Toreg? I was alone, disgraced, humiliated, insulted. A lone tear glints in the light before sliding down Haram's cheek and hiding in his beard. I was trying to drown my sorrows in drink, but even the owner of the cheapest pub on the road would laugh at me while he put those mugs in front of me. I couldn't take it any longer. I wanted everything to end. But there was one thing that kept me going, and prevented me from ending my life. I could still hear the divine whisper behind my back. It was yet faint. It took a long time before I could hear it clearly. Having heard it once, I could never forget it. It was clear that none of Lerad's deities favored me, so I left the Five Kings Mountains and went out searching. I didn't think dwarves ever worshipped Grutus. How did you learn about him? Oh, but the blessed day became the beginning of a new life. Alone and abandoned by all, I spent many dull hours in the filthy tavern by the roadside. I don't recall the town, nor the country. I had no money. In fact, all I had was a hunk of stale bread. I was weary and almost fainting from hunger. And that was a moment when the whisper from my god became more clear. It was like he was calling me. At last my sufferings had come to an end. It was a miracle, Talsar. And I had paid full price for it with all my torments. I couldn't control myself. I walked out of the tavern and straight into the nearest forest, where I found the ruined temple of Aruden, the lost god. Several figures clad in robes were holding a silent service there, a service to a god I knew nothing of. None minded when I stood beside them. The first time in my life I felt at home. My new brothers told me they were in fact clerics of Grotus, the god of end times. They were traveling around Glorion spreading the teachings of Grotus, despite all despite all the persecution, contempt, and misjudgment they received from others. I gladly shared in this burden with them. But now I knew whose voice had whispered to me through all those years. Wait, you couldn't make a single nail? And blame Torek? Are you suggesting that my problem was not a curse, just my own inability to work with metal? Or are you saying that I was just too lazy? Harem looks into your eyes defiantly, his hands trembling with suppressed rage as he runs his fingers over his beard. You fool! You are a fool if you think so. An ignorant fool. Have you ever met a dwarf who couldn't handle Smith's hammer? Even our children craft knives. No. Toreg is the cause of my sufferings. The betrayer god deliberately cursed me, just to make a laughingstock of me. Harem raises his hand and shakes his fist at someone above. But I won't let myself get angry at you, Talsar. You're an ignorant and blind soul, and my aim is to guide you through this dying world that marches towards its end. I'll open your eyes, or die trying. Grotus will be pleased by either outcome. Your question seems offensive, Talsar, but I'm not offended. I realize you ask it because you wish to learn more about Grotus. Torek betrayed me, Talsar. All he ever done was look down with contempt on all my futile efforts to please him. I crafted armor plates, but they fell apart with a single strike of a fist. I smithed swords, but they broke at the hilt. Torek's priests used to say that such failures were the curse of their uncompromising deity. Harem's fingers grab his beard. With such force, it seems he'll tear out a handful of hair. It was Grotus who opened my eyes. He showed me that failure is a manifestation of his will. The end times is near, Talsar, and every failure is just another step towards it. Torek's curse is only half the reason for my failure. The other half is the blessing of Grotus, which I have borne from early childhood. So, the short answer to your question is no. I've never regretted opening my soul to Grotus. From what I've heard, Grotus doesn't spare the minds of his clerics. They'll go insane eventually. Is that true? Ha! Who told you that? I'd like to look that slander in the eyes. Harem bursts out in laughter, but you can't understand what's so funny. You see, Talsar, sanity is quite a relative concept. Harem says with as his laughter recedes. Each of us is certain that he is the sanest creature in the world. Meanwhile, we periodically doubt the sanity of others. So what happens if 2 or 3 people claim that someone else is insane? Does it make it true? Perhaps the accusers have lost their minds themselves. I kind of see that from a certain point of view. The longer a cleric listens to the whispers of Grotus, the better he comprehends the essence of his designs, and the deeper his understanding becomes. When enlightenment comes, the mind of a cleric ascends to a new level of understanding, which is inescapable to simpler souls. Is that insanity? This is for you to decide, Talsar Gelden. My decision was made long ago. When I reach enlightenment, I will accept it with joy and delight. Well, when you learn Grota's divine plans, remember to tell me about them. I could use a good laugh. Hiram seems not to hear the irony in your words. Oh, of course. I will tell you. I will tell everyone. The words of Grotus will lead us towards unto the inevitable. Alright. There's a lot of dialogue to be read here. Alright. I'm gonna pause the recording real fast and be right back. Alright, I'm back. I had to take care of a few things real fast. Okay. Alright, Tristan, let's talk to you. Tristan smiles as you approach. Greetings. How may this humble chosen of the great Sarenrae help you? Tell me about yourself. About myself? I wouldn't know where to begin. Tristan pauses a moment in thought. You know, my name, my faith, I follow Sarenrae, and I have traveled from the Padish. Okay, he's from Kalesh. Okay. Yeah. I feel like I would just butcher that if I tried, so I'm not gonna even. Sometimes not oftentimes, most of the time, names in Pathfinder given to NPCs or locations give me trouble trying to pronounce them properly. Especially, when I'm running, my Pathfinder games and whatnot. You're trying to pronounce a word you've never heard before or have even read before, so you try your best, and it's a different thing. You can read it mentally and have a clear picture, and you can even try to pronounce it a few times. But and I do this in my prep work for when I'm running my games. But when you get right down to the moment where you actually have to say it out loud to other people, it causes problems. It's kind of like a performance anxiety thing, Forgive me, but from your manner and appearance, I'm going to strike you as a Kalishite. Tristan smiles softly. You have nothing to apologize for, truly. I have received my name and appearance from my parents, who have come to Kalesh from afar. I never knew them. For the fate that separated us, for the fate that had separated us when I was young. So I grew up in Kalesh, raised by the followers of Sarenrae. My home is where my heart is, within the temples of the great goddess, among the wise and generous men that took upon themselves to care for a child that was so unlike them. I learned mercy and patience from an early age. And at these virtues that have made me the man I am today. Do you enjoy traveling? Tristan nods, his eyes light up. Oh yes. No library, no archive, however large, would ever allowed me to learn as much of the world as I have had in my journeys. It was only outside the temple walls that I realized every living being is a world unto themselves. A world where many contradictions and passions coexist. Each realm leaves its mark on the lives that live there. By only visiting it, by breathing the same air, walking the same soil, can you understand its people, what drives them, what frightens them, their dreams, and how they honor their gods. Doesn't being outside the temple make you uncomfortable? Tristan shakes his head. There are many ways to honor one's god, Talsar. It is true shrines play a role in the lives of many of the faithful, but even more find their ways to serve Sarenrae. The Healing Lights values good deeds above all else. I cannot stand by and watch evil claim others. Tristan thinks for a moment, then raises an eyebrow. Perhaps that is another reason why I chose to go on my pilgrimage, even behind the temples of Kalesh. Tristan touches his chest. My faith is in my heart and in my hands. millions on the Senrei and her temples, and my soul is filled with joy when I think of their devotion to the goddess. Nevertheless, my path is a different one. Do you know where you're going next? No, my thoughts were far from it. My mission here is not yet done. Tristan stares at you in surprise. Why do you ask? Do you wish me to leave your lands? I didn't mean to alarm you. That was not my intent. Tristan shakes his head reproachfully, but with a smile. You enjoy watching others' reactions, don't you? In this regard, we are alike, although I do not choose such sly ways to achieve this. Senrei is the goddess of temperance and patience. Solar Flame Goddess teaches us compassion for the weary and mercy to those who go astray. What would you like to know of her? I don't want to go through all this right now. I don't want to. I mean, as much as I would find it fascinating to read all that stuff, I'm afraid it would just bore everyone. Actually, have me go through and read all of that. Now, don't get me wrong. I enjoy doing voices. No, I'm gonna leave those behind. But not everyone else may get the same amount of enjoyment out of it. Alright, so... Oh yeah, this was something else that... I had a... At one point, I did have a dream that directed me to go here. So we're going to go here.
Perhaps I will return to Keonan one day, walk the streets of Idara, find the wretch who reported me to the Elven Eldest, and drain them of their blood, drop by drop.
I'm still not sure what kind of undead she is. She's not a vampire.
You shouldn't treat Sarenrae with such disdain. She's a great goddess who has defeated many horrible monsters. Her shining sword has wiped whole cities from the face of the world.
Not bad. Then why do you keep nagging about mercy and forgiveness? Tell me about how she slaughtered her enemies.
Talsar Gedden is suddenly awoke inside the house. Oh, here we go again. This is the same dream. I picked this option last time and ended up being shot. So let's try opening up the door this time. Talsar Gedden pushed the door with his shoulder, but it wouldn't budge. The flames were starting to crawl up the walls. Talsar Gedden drew short of breath, and he sat down heavily on the floor. Talsar Gedden's skin felt cold. He heard the murmur of the water and the soft lapping waves. After opening his eyes, he saw a rocky river. Ah, yeah, okay. Same thing. That's where I'm going.
I tire.
I thought we camped. Resting will take 22 hours. Really? Okay, well, let's rest then.
Some food would be nice. And some booze. When I get to a tavern, I'll lock myself inside and won't come out until all the barrels are empty.
thy rest? The end times are nigh, Harem. Well, I want to change my order here. Five coins across the river. Well, no bridge. Looks like the remains of a house. The small house burned down dozens of years ago.
What's that?
Potion resist cold. Ring.
How curious.
Locked. Still don't have a rogue in my party.
All according to plan.
A zombie! Davik Nettle. The corpse's face is bloated from being so long in the water. The stench from its toothless mouth so foul your eyes begin to water. The hand, clenching a sinister-looking spear, is covered with scabs. Suddenly, you feel faint, as if a cold, wet hand is placed heavy on top of your head. Wet hair sticks to skin, and trickles of icy cold water run down your face and shirt. A hoarse whisper resides in your head. There you are. I sense evil, but not evil committed by this poor soul, no. He arose on account of some evil done to him. Jathel winces in disgust. So it was you sent me those nightmares. Gurgling, deep-chested laughter pierces your skull, clouding your vision, flooding your ears. All else becomes muffled, as if you were trapped underwater. You shake your head to cast off the apparition. Who are you? Davik Nettle. A storm of bright images flashes before your eyes. A long time ago, this person, then living, came here from Brevoy, constructed a rope bridge, built a home, and lived in it, collecting payment from those who crossed the river. How did you die? You see a vision of a lovely spring day. Sunbeams shine warm against your cheeks. Three men approach the house by the bridge, one of them wearing an antlered helm, the Stag Lord. Angry faces, a quarrel, the glint of an unsheathed sword. Suddenly the Stag Lord's greedy eyes were twisted by surprise. The master of the house has unleashed his hounds. A burning smell stirs you awake to the sound of loud barking. Flames are crawling up the walls. The sound of breaking glass, the bitter, cold night air. You are outside. Outside the house, and something is wrong. An arrow strikes deep into your shoulder. You hear the guffaw of 10 throats. You run. Already in the middle of the bridge, the man in the iron helm cuts one of the ropes. An ear-splitting scream fills the air. What do you want from me? You see a vision of a man wearing an antlered helm. You hear a muffled groan, and the helm drops to the ground with a loud thud. Your hands covered in hot blood. Too much blood. Death to the Stag Lord. I refuse to help you on principle. You shouldn't have messed with my head. You are taken in a whirlwind of visions and images. You see yourself. You lie with your eyes closed, thrashing in your sleep. Finally, you scream awake, drenched in cold sweat. My hands. My answer is the same. The drowned man grins at you with blue lips. You know what, I'm already gonna kill the bastard anyway, so what the fuck not. Very well, I shall met out your vengeance upon the sack lord. The drowned man, who had been sitting motionless, nods his head. Come, later. Take the spear. Okay, well, okay.
Follow my lead.
I'm unsure if the spear is supposed to be a reward, or he wants me to use the spear to kill the Stag Lord. Okay, so I've done that. Yeah, I found these before. Kingdom resource, fruits and berries. It's something that I'll have access to once I actually become Lord of this land. Alright, well, let's travel... let's at least go here. Waterlogged Lowland. Okay, let's see what's here. Right now I'm just killing time until I learn the location of the Stag Lord's lair. So I'm just doing a bunch of side quests. We walked across the heath for a long time, yet no sight sprung up before our eyes. By turns, we discovered a verdant lowland, with several near-about springs streaming down behind other hillsides. And then, in the distance, in the center of the lowland hung the bush. There stood a single dry tree, a true giant. Its magnificent outline resembled an animal's paw, clawing at the sky. But what was truly remarkable, the flat landscape was clotted by mysterious dark clumps. They were piled about the height of a man, and scattered around in abundance. Yeah. The further we trekked, the softer the land became. Step by step, heath grass gave way to moss, low-growing shrubs and ferns, and then sloshy puddles of stinky swamp water. The muddy ground sucked at our feet, and soon our party was jumping from hossack to hossack. Finally, we reached the first group of mysterious humps, and learned they were no mere hills, but dugout dwellings. We moved with great care towards the center of the lowland, and there the real swamp began. On our way towards the mysterious giant tree, we saw the foggy outline of another hut, this one much bigger, and surrounded by small clay statues. Inside the dugouts were frozy and dark, darker than holes and filled with absolute desolation. There's no windows in these mud walls, no furniture or other homely items, except for the odd piece of tattered wicker. But every dwelling had a large hollow dug right at the center of the dirt floor, like a fire pit, but taking up the greater part of the space. They were filled with standing water and reeked beyond description. We moved with great care towards the center of the lowland. Okay. We walked slowly, carefully, choosing our way, keeping the drier ground as much as possible. But the further we went, the more difficult it became, and soon we were wading waist-deep through the cattails. Frogs croaked loudly as we peered anxiously through the cloudy water. Struggling to make out what slowly flitted along the bottom. Suddenly Jaethel staggered, spit out an oath, and flailed her arms. She made a wrong step, and unable to pull out her foot, she called out loudly and began to sink into the vile green slush. Wary of another was getting stuck to the bog, we decided to form a living chain, standing next to each other, holding our hands. Yeah. I mean, she's undead. I can't kill her. Jaisel's head was stuck below the deathly icky water. But our hands were just in time. We pulled with all of our strength, and she emerged, gasping above the frothy muck. Jaisel was rather green by the time we lifted her out, but found the strength to thank us once she caught her breath. The insatiable bog gurgled hungrily after us, but we didn't look back. Sodden and weary, we finally made it back to solid ground, and a place of and a palace of sorts rose before our eyes. A spacious hut made of mud, like the rest, but decorated with pebbles, bones, cattail spikes, and small shells and snail shells. In front of the palace was a wide and shallow reservoir of green water, reflecting the leaves of huge ferns and primitive clay figurines. The buzzing of gnats was nearly deafening. We were not far to the center of the swamp, and a firm and steady path led there through the thick bush. At its end, that tall, dried tree stretched mightily towards us, clawing at the firmament. Failed! Goggle eyes, flat heads, with no necks, ears, or chins. Ugly long legs, unnaturally bent, these mysterious clay sculptures depicted some uncanny cross between frog and human. The palace was twice the height of the other huts, and its entrance was wide enough for 3 of us to walk abreast. The walls were decorated. An unknown builder had scratched drawings in the clay while it was still wet. The faded scroll depicted huge amphibians devouring smaller figures, some frog-headed, others not. 3 of the 4 rooms boasted large holes filled with water, just like the other dwellings, though here were steps descending into them, cut into the dirt. The furthest room we found equipped and decorating the walls. Leather armor, spears, clubs. To our surprise, a number of items were well preserved. The hunt was clearly deserted, so we felt no shame in taking some of it with us. Short sword, leather armor, and some gold coins, okay. It was ever so lonely to walk once again along the well-trodden path. Our soaked clothes imagined being dry, and our mood was at once lifted. The bushes that bordered the path seemed to wave at us amiably, with their juicy green leaves and shining bright red berries. A fresh wind puffed away the rotten smell, and it finally felt like the swamp might be nearly behind us. But then the wind stopped blowing, and the thorny branches continued to move, and we heard a shout. Jaethel, who was watching our rear, pointed to a surging, crawling wall of green filling in the path behind us. The surrounding thicket was coming to life, its branches reaching out with soft, swishing sound. Drops of sap oozed from their thorns, gleaming in the emerald dusk. The path was disappearing. There was no way back, and the clear space ahead was closing. Failed mobility check. Finally, after what seemed like an endless trek, we came upon the gigantic dry tree that had so intrigued us from the beginning. Lo and behold, we saw an idol cut into its trunk. A huge, horned, 3-eyed toad. Its gigantic eyes made it look cruel and dumb, almost idiotic. Its muzzle hung half open, sharp toothed with several hanging tongues. Deep brown streaks of ooze from the corners of its mouth. Lore. I finally succeeded something here. There's no doubt that this was Gotunga. Gotutta? Master of the Great Swamp and Demon of an Abyss Demon. Great. But what was this? While we were examining the idol, a large bright blue dragonfly came out of the hollow of the tree and sat invitingly at the very tip of one of its of our noses. It was so remarkably strange, it didn't react to our movements. It seemed quite content to remain where it sat. Huh. Okay, so I actually ate the damn thing. Okay. We heard a wet crunch, and I winced before I could look. I turned around, hearing a faint cry. Talsar Gildan had turned white and started to collapse. We barely had time to catch him. After returning to life in a few hours, he told us amazing things. It turns out that the boggart priests ate blue dragonflies to fall into hypnotic trances, where they could hear the will of the goddess. The demon lord, Gaguta, I'm gonna go with that, Gaguta, the creator of all boggart kind. In this dream, Talsar saw ancient times, how the boggarts built their settlements, how they raided the neighbors that enslaved their children, how they held the bloody rituals to honor bloated amphibian monsters. The roar of their laughter throughout the dark centuries, and then saw a priest bury a stash of plundered jewelry in his hut, rather than offering it to the cruel goddess. In return, the wrathful Gagunta set a horrible plague upon his tribe, and that priest would be their last. We turned around to leave the abominable swamp. The flesh-eating bush grew quiet and gave way. On our journey back, we were sure to look inside the priest's hut and to get the treasure. Okay. Well. Looks like I have to get there from here. Okay, I'm gonna camp.
Oh, I lost a button. Thus the inevitable end of the world is seen even in the littlest of things.
I did rest, didn't I? Resting will take 1 day.
Why couldn't you just stay at home? You were a judge. You had respect.
Respect has very little intrinsic value. The question is whether it gets you what you want, and I wanted far more than respect could fetch me.
Okay. Leader Troll. Great.
I'm listening.
Yeah, let's go ahead and have you drink that.
Running won't help you!
Alright,
Learn how to use it first.
okay, Snark. Not an undead.
Learn how to use it first.
Alright, fine. Okay, very well. Yeah, it's fine sucking. Okay, I have no idea how many hit points this thing, or the hit dice of this creature is, well, probably has more hit dice than it'll affect. That's probably why she's kind of being snarky at me right now. Okay, fine. Acid splash the bastard.
Advance!
Alright, I'm gonna have to cast shield.
Unworthy.
Ah, that worked. First time I've actually done that with.
Wait.
Repent!
Bring it!
I must have your rage.
Wretched things.
This should do.
Ah, nice. Alright, well, there's nothing else here.
Down
Oh.
better ones.
Boggins. I didn't want to. It wasn't you I wanted to charge.
A calculated risk.
Might as well have him
Become
buff.
as dust.
Despicable.
Turn that off.
This will hurt.
Tear them apart!
You forced my hand.
Repent.
Advance.
All right.
In due time.
Now I think I'm done here. Alright, well, actually, let's see, how long have I... Yeah, I've been recording for quite a while, almost an hour and a half, so I'm going to go ahead and end the recording here. So thank you for watching Talsar Plays Pathfinder Kingmaker. Good night.